What's up, everybody? It's your girl Q1, and I am back with Belle Collective Birmingham, Season 1, Episode 6, Nightmare on a State Street. Really? Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the video so I can stand the algorithm, okay? Alright, so of course the episodes start with the ladies. They get montages or whatever. Tiffany gets an invite for Stormy's Girls' Day in. And then Tiffany calls Amber and lets her know she was invited to Stormy's event. Amber is still feeling ill, and Amber is also excited about those two, about Tiffany being invited to Stormy's event. So then we get Fumi and her husband. Let's talk about them. So Fumi and her husband, they are looking at another house. She wants to convince her husband to swipe his card for the house of their dreams. And I'm like, that's the home of your dreams. But we can keep it going. So Sam, which is Fumi's husband, Sam wants to know the price of the house. Fumi said that she's a 6-figure content creator and her money is her shoe, bag, and play money. And when she says she don't have any money, she means she don't have any money for, this, them, or whatever, for Sam. I was like, girl, okay, Fumi. Anyway, Sam loves the house. He said, no, I'm lying. Sam loves the house that they actually live in. And he said he needed to make sense. Like, I need to know, like, purchasing this house, why does it make sense? Tell me. Because for him, he was like, listen, the kids don't want to go anywhere. I'm good over here. And it was like, the kid, like, really just disregarded what the kids were thinking anyway. And they were like, well, the kids don't, they don't know nothing about nothing. And I'm just like, why would you move them again? Like, and the house actually, it sits on 20 acres. And he was like, well, Fumi, listen, why can't you give away all of your bags? And Fumi was like, well, every bag is sentimental to me. Sure, Fumi. Sure. I like Fumi. And I know Fumi is everybody's favorite. But if we can take the cloud up over our eyes about faves and all of that, who are you trying to keep up with, Fumi? Like, I get it, but it feels like you're trying to keep up with somebody. Okay, like, you have such a beautiful home, and I feel like sometimes it's a level of it can be a level of ungratefulness. Like, girl, stay in your house, especially in the economy we live in. And I'm not hating or nothing like that, because if you got it, do it. But the way you and Sam are going back and forward about this, I think that Sam doesn't want to do it. So anyway, we see Stormy. Stormy interviews with she's having an interview and a photo shoot with Lennox and Parker for their 2026 Woman of the Year. I was like, okay, Stormy, that's great. So she sits down. The photo shoot was beautiful. Like, I love yellow on Stormy's skin. I think that yellow is one of her colors. I just wanted to say that. So then we get the ladies. They're all getting on a Sprinter headed to Stormy's home. Y'all know Stormy lives in Huntsville. The ladies are in Birmingham. Okay, so they're going from Birmingham to Huntsville. Sonetta is there. And where is Sonetta's Belle? Okay, Sonetta has been a solid friend of. Okay, we've seen her everywhere. We don't want to see Kendra, but we want to see Sonetta. All right? So Sonetta checks in with Kayla. She said, Kayla was like, listen, that whole situation, the event was rough, but I'm okay. I'm good now. And I like Sonetta. Sonetta sometimes makes sense to me. So then Fumi tells all the ladies about her and Sam going to look at a home. And she said that our budgets are different. Like, my budget is this way and his budget is this way. And we're just not meeting in the middle. So we talk about Amber and her egg retrieval. And the doctor calls her and let her know, hey, we can move forward with the process because, we were able to retrieve your eggs. So that's a good thing. You know, we want to see Amber moving towards her goal. I mean, well, her mommy goals or whatever. Anyway, Tiffany talks about how she wants more kids, but her husband wants a vasectomy. And Tiffany asked the ladies, you know, well, let's talk about this. At this point, conversation needs to be over. Your husband wants a vasectomy. He doesn't want any more kids, but you do. And something tells me that husband wouldn't have got a vasectomy, but you know that, but you're trying to use that as a storyline. But we're gonna let you have it, sis. I'm gonna let you have it, okay? So anyway, Tiffany asked the ladies, should she have a conversation with Stormy, or should she just have a good time? She tells everyone that she also has an exchange with Kayla, and how everything went down between the both of them. So we get a flashback on the ladies at the restaurant. Kayla tells Tiffany, you know, I can tell that Kendra is very protective over you. And she said, this is what Tiffany did. Let me tell y'all, anybody who do that, she just irritates me. She was like, she's very watchful. I'm sorry, y'all. That lady, both Tiffany, let's be clear, both Tiffany and Stormy had points, and both Tiffany and Stormy aggravated the hell out of me for multiple reasons. So anyway, Tiffany said she's very watchful. Yeah, but you didn't need your friend fighting your battles for you. This is like this is your friend's second time jumping into something. Okay, tell your friend mind her business. All right. So Kayla said, listen, I wasn't trying to be messy, and I felt like I was ganged up on. And I just don't think Kayla was trying to be messy. Now, there's a part of me that feels like you play up this dummy person role, like you try to play this Portia-esque role. Okay? It ain't working over here. But you be trying to play that little role, sis, and you think it's going to get you somewhere. Okay? It's not. But that's what I think sometimes. So then Tiffany apologized to Kayla, and she apologized on behalf of Kendra. I also feel like Kendra should apologize to Kayla. Okay, that's how I feel. I feel like Kendra should apologize to Kayla in person. But that's my personal opinion. So Tiffany brings up Kayla being on the phone with Stormy, and she feels a way about it. She said, Tiffany was like, listen, I was confused and she wanted clarity. Yes, Tiffany, had you been out there, you would have heard Kayla say, listen, I just had a conversation trying to get the conversation about what happened with the mop situation. Okay? And I need to know what's going on because I'm confused. That's what she did. She asked what was going on. She wasn't necessarily talking about you, sugar. But whatever. Tiffany thought that Kayla was on a mission for Stormy, and it did appear that way, but it just wasn't. Anyway, so I sometimes feel like this is why I'm wondering, is this why you bring Kayla with you, like to say things? So, because I know you'll say what you want to say. God, I'm not mad at Tiffany because Tiffany speaks her mind. She really, really do. She speaks her mind. But I just think that you don't always need your little raggedy friend. And I sometimes think that you don't want you in your brain thinking that Stormy and her homegirl trying to set you up. Well, people can say the same thing about you and Kendra. But whatever. Amber says, this right here pissed me off. Amber says Kyla doesn't control her own mind. Amber, shut up. Because it is quite obvious that you still don't like Kyla. Or Kayla, whatever her name is. It's giving you want Kayla out and you want Kyla in. That's what I do not. When I tell you when it comes to Amber being the mom, I'm okay with that. But as a person, I cannot with Amber. But when she right, I'm gonna be on her side. But when it comes to Kayla, why do you not like her? She spoke to you when you got on a van. She's speaking to you. She's acknowledging you now. And at the end of the episode, when your dumb ass was laying on the couch crying, okay, who came to you with a blanket? Because I would have smothered you with that damn blanket. Okay, no, I wouldn't have did that. But I'm just saying, girl, you just have this, let it go. Let it go. Anyway, Tiffany tells Kayla she's a woman of grace and I'm going to give you grace because I'm going to be watchful. And Tiffany, Kayla should be watchful of you. Okay? You always trying to use these church vernaculars. Am I saying that right? You're always trying to use all this church verbiage to make people feel away. Like, girl, get out of our face with that. All right? You always trying to humble somebody one way or another. And I feel like this was you trying to humble Kayla. Ma'am, please. Anyway, the ladies all arrive at Stormy's house. Tiffany gave Stormy a hug, and this is where everything went. I guess this is where everything started, but then it started at the table, and I'm like, she gave her a hug, and it wasn't like, because we are at odds. We did not have a conversation. Left we last. We just wasn't speaking. We had got into it, and now I come in the door and I'm gonna hug you, but I'm not going to really embrace you. And I kind of wasn't mad at Tiffany about that, because we have stuff in between us that needs to be resolved, and I just can't be fake about it. So anyway, Tiffany, she gave her a little hug, and she was like, you could have left that damn hug outside. I was like, girl. So when Tiffany walked in the door, she said her spirit didn't sit well entering the home. Maybe it was you, sis. Like, you probably should have listened to your first mind and not went. But we also know that this is a cast event. And here is another thing. You cannot be having all these cast events at your home, having these women come up there driving 2 to 3 hours to throw somebody out. That's crazy to me. That is crazy. So anyway, Stormy takes Kayla with her to go to their house so she can change. She tells the ladies they get ready to have a photo shoot so they can kind of change their clothes or whatever. Do what they need to do. So Kayla, tells Stormy what happened in a Sprinter. And Tiffany tells the ladies, listen, I came in with an open heart and open mind. And she has to put her, she has her holy oil. And I was like, Tiffany, listen, I like you. I really like you because you don't back down from a fight, and I'm not mad at that. I like all of the ladies, and Amber is probably the last person on my list that I like. However, I feel like you bringing your holy oil was a bit much. And again, listen, I got 2 bottles right there, mixed by the mothers of the church. Okay, but I'm not traveling with holy oil just off of GP. Okay, like, that's just not what I'm doing. If you're coming in there in good spirits, come in there in good spirits. If you didn't feel right about it, because I'm pretty sure you felt the way all day about going, you had some hesitation about going, but because it's a cast event, you had to be there. And I feel like high key you wanted to be there, and I feel like y'all can get along. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the disconnect is. It's odd. Anyway, the ladies head to the dinner table to eat, and Tiffany thought Stormy was placed next to her so they can have a little sidebar conversation. I would have thought that too, and I think that made Tiffany feel better because, oh wow, she's sitting next to me so we could kind of talk. And I know Stormy and Tiffany both have this tough exterior, but sometimes I feel like y'all two are a little bit alike, in my opinion, but fine. Anyway, Stormy sees her name next to Tiffany, and she moved and swapped her place with Amber. She said, it's because I'm claustrophobic. Tiffany laughs, and Stormy asks, what's funny? Tiffany said, you. She said, you changed your seat, and that was funny to me. Stormy said, because I'm claustrophobic. And I was like, Stormy, were you claustrophobic at this photo shoot upstairs? Because y'all was definitely close together, okay? I'm not saying she not. I'm saying, say you didn't want to sit by Tiffany and you wasn't ready to sit by. I could respect you more if you did that. So then they started to go back and forward, and Stormy asked if she wanted to go home, and Tiffany was like, I can't. Tiffany is the type of person, I'm not going to kiss your ass to be here. Okay, and one thing I can say about Tiffany, y'all may not like the little nice lasty church lady, but she not about to kiss nobody behind to be in these places. Okay, but you can't be throwing people out and they done drove 3 hours, girl, to come to your house. You to call this lady all kind of B's and A's, and all of that. It's Sunday. I'm trying to keep my composure, okay? Yeah, you call this lady out of her name. I just feel like it just shouldn't have been this big. Anyway, Tiffany asked Stormy, did you invite me purposely to kick me out? Stormy said no. She said, I am really claustrophobic and she don't know who did the seating arrangement. And it seemed like production was being shady, of course. And Tiffany said to Stormy, well, I didn't know you were claustrophobic. I didn't. And Amber says to Stormy, she knew Stormy was claustrophobic and wait, what did I write? And then, she says that at the table. Then she get up and go walk over to Tiffany. So Stormy give the ladies a blanket. And I tell you, that blanket looks so soft and plush. Kayla was like, girl, I don't give a damn about what's going on. I have a blanket. Like, she was really happy about that. So the blankets. And so she just like, oh my God. And so Fumi was like, Kayla acting like she never had a blanket before. Fumi, girl, mind your business, okay? Because I'm almost, y'all, about 10 seconds off of Fumi's ass, okay? I got a lot of opinions about Fumi that I'm going to keep to myself until I'm ready to pull them out. Anyway, Amber tells Tiffany that Stormy was claustrophobic. And Tiffany said, listen, I did not know. So Stormy goes to Tiffany. And Tiffany said, if you didn't want me here, Stormy tells Tiffany, if I didn't wanted you here, I would not have invited you. So Tiffany said, you just told me to leave. Stormy said, because you can't be laughing and being, if you're going to continue to be facetious or whatever. And Stormy wanted to know what was funny. Tiffany said, it was funny because I thought you moved your plate because you didn't want to sit next to me. This is Tiffany is expressing herself to Stormy. And that was just it. So Stormy said, this was my thoughts. Stormy, you can be claustrophobic, but you swapped your seat with Amber, and when Tiffany left, you felt away. And that's just the bottom line. It felt like anything Tiffany did or said towards you, you was gonna feel away anyway. So now we're back talking about the mop. Okay? First of all, I just want y'all to know this review is brought to you by the mop. Okay? So Tiffany apologized without saying, I'm sorry. We get in a conversation with the mom. Tiffany, if you're gonna apologize. But don't apologize and say, but it was funny to me, because you're apologizing and then you're insulting her. Like, you have to know how this lady feel low key. Like, that's not no, don't do that. So, Tiffany was talking about serving, and and mopping, and I'm like, Tiffany, you keep talking about serving and all of that. This was a couples event, not a church event, ma'am. Okay, in church where the harvest or whatever is plenty, but the laborers are few or something. And so, meanwhile, Amber is crying in Amber is crying in Stormy's house. And guess who's consoling her? Miss Kayla. Okay. Girl, you a good person, Kayla, because I would. Okay. Anyway, Stormy, I feel like Stormy was doing a little bit too much. Tiffany was talking with her husband, and she said Stormy is a person. And this made me question, are you jealous of Stormy and her success? Because you seem like you've been one of those people who's been successful, and that's why you hang around the mayor's wife, because you want to be up here too. That's what you give me sometimes, Tiffany. But I don't know. I can only guess. So Tiffany has a conversation with her husband. She says Stormy is a person that's empowered because she has money, and God can take all of this away. Can y'all stop doing that? When you're offended by a person, when somebody may wrong you or they may not treat you right, stop hoping or wishing God will remove something. Stop speaking ill of people. Like, I think y'all really get the wrong impression in church. I'm telling y'all, my bishop always says it's kind to be kind. Like, I'm never, no matter how mad you make me, I'm never going to speak ill against you. Okay, you know what? I do be cursing in a lot of my videos, okay? Okay, because people be needing it. They be needing it. However, like, all of that, God gonna fix you because you didn't do right by me. Maybe you saw the signs that this person wasn't gonna do right by you. Like, y'all always want to use God, like, to do y'all dirty work for y'all. Like, don't stop using God as a sugar daddy, okay? Because he not. He is not a magician. He's not a genie. And he is not a sugar daddy. Y'all get on my nerves with that. And y'all gotta stop. That's why the people don't be wanting to come to church house. Okay? Stop being crazy. So, she said, I'm sorry, y'all. I just felt like I had to say that. She said, who are you outside of the money? Are you a child of God, or are you a kind person? Are you a person that loves other people? And money, and she said, and money don't buy you class, and if money is all you got, then you are poor. Listen, Tiffany, I can't relate to none of this, and I'm not feeling any of this. I would love to have the amount of money. Okay, God, test me with that Stormy type of money, and I want to see how nice I'm gonna be to people. Test me. I'm just saying, I'm gonna be nice to people. I feel like Stormy is a nice person. I do. I feel like when she's activated, okay? She's crazy, but I do feel like I feel like Stormy is a nice person. I think Tiffany, I just think that they're not understanding each other. I don't know. So Tiffany, don't continue to get these, the people already think that you are a nice, nasty church lady. Okay? You came on here with that, and you led with that, and you got the people was eating you up. Okay? Just be who you are. Anyway, I just don't like, because you are a saint, you think that is an allowance to be the way that you are. Like, you just can't. Like, I think Tiffany is a nice person. I know. I'm looking at Tiffany. I really think this lady is a nice lady. I think she don't back down from nobody. I think Tiffany is strong. I just think her and Stormy was losing me. And when the real issue is, they're still fighting about the mop. No matter what happens, we keep, and it's not even about the mop. It's about humbling. Like, Stormy feels humbled. She feels like Tiffany is trying to humble her. And Tiffany feels like it's her duty to humble this lady, and you cannot. Like, it's odd. Again, in my personal opinion, I think both ladies are nice. I just think that they are in a place where they can't get along, but who's to say that they're not going to get along down the line? I think they just have to find their rhythm, and I think it's just as simple as that. I'm team nobody. I just want these ladies to find their rhythm so we can be a cohesive Belle. Okay? I also think, again, with Stormy, I think I said it a minute ago, Stormy is a nice lady. She has money, but I don't think she makes that change her. I think her having to get it out the mud, when we really listen to her in episode 1, her getting it out the mud, I think Stormy is extremely humble. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got, y'all. I just, this was a good episode. I just wish the ladies would, like, literally get this together. That's all. Anyway, this is your girl Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.